What is going on, guys? My name is Dustin and welcome back to Disc Central. Don't mind the hot pink hair and don't mind if I sound sick. I'm getting a cold and I'm actually trying to stop it before it gets bad. However, I made one of these videos a little over a month ago, probably close to 2 months ago now, talking about what was in my bag and what I used as a beginner player. And a lot has changed, not only the discs in the bag, but my improvement in the game itself. I can actually throw a wide variety of discs now, whereas last time I really struggled with like max distance drivers and even some fairway drivers sometimes. But my game has improved a lot, and I mentioned in that video also that I was wanting to switch to Discraft, and finally I have a bag that I am content with in that I know what every single disc in this bag does, and I've thrown every single disc in this bag multiple times, and I'm very familiar with it. I finally learned my bag. I'm throwing all Discraft. Last time I had some Discraft, some Innova. I think I had a Latitude 64 disc in there, and that's all changed. Even some of the Discraft discs I had, I've swapped out for newer ones or ones that I wanted to just replace in my bag anyway. For those wondering, I am still carrying the Dynamic Discs Trooper bag, and I fit all of these in this bag with no issue at all. It's a great bag, especially if you're starting out for the price. So we're going to go ahead and get into the distance drivers, then the fairways, the mid-ranges, and then the putters. I have 2 putters that I like to throw with, and then 2 putters that I like to putt with. Also, with my distance drivers, I have 2 what you would call utility discs. So it's not something that I throw off the tee very often. They are more so to either fight wind or get out of some troubling situations if I need like a very sharp turn or cut. So yeah, starting off with the max distance drivers, I just want to say too, a lot of these discs I got in Facebook groups. If you are a disc golf player and you are looking for discs, check out Facebook groups because I have gotten some really, really good discs. I actually want to give away for some, which I'll mention, and then I have a bunch that I just picked up for a really good price. Also, I want Trista to do it in the bag because now that she is playing and we are building her bag up, and I'm going to talk to Eric about filming in the bag and what he throws, because he throws a lot of Innova actually, so you guys can kind of see the variety that we have to offer on this channel because everybody throws something different. So getting into the distance drivers, the max distance, 2 of these are actually my utility discs, like I said. The first one being the Z Machete. This was in my bag last time, but this disc is really good for fighting wind, especially if I have a strong crosswind or a headwind. This is the disc I'm going to throw because it is going to just fight the wind and cut through the wind perfect, and it's overstable, so it's really good for backhands that are going to finish hard left, and it's really good for forehands that finish right. Me being a right-handed player, that's usually how it flies. If you're left-handed, everything is opposite. So if I throw this on a forehand, it's going to turn right, which my forehands are trash. I'm still working on that, but super nice Z Machete. I love this. I think I got this on Amazon for like 10 bucks or something crazy like that, but it's penned at 172. I know a lot of people care about the weights, but yeah, 172, and yeah, it fights the wind. It's gotten me through some pretty crazy tough winds. So my next one is the Discraft ESP Flick. Like I said, these are all Discraft discs. This is an ESP Flick, stability 2.5. This thing is super overstable, super flat. This is really good. I don't ever throw this disc off the tee because I never have any need for it because I'm never going to get a full flight out of it. I don't have the distance yet to let this thing glide and then kind of finish. This thing starts turning right away. This is more of like if I need to get around like a cluster of trees and I need to kick out and have something that's going to finish to the right, or like hyzer out and finish left. But I've had some pretty good upshots with this disc just practicing, you know, if I've been in some pretty crappy situations and I need to get to the basket. And I know a lot of people care about the swirls. The swirls are okay. I have a lot better discs in here that are super swirly. My next disc, this thing is super beat up now, and I've thrown this thing so much and I love it. It is the ZFlex Crank. It is like crazy beat up. As you can tell, this thing has definitely some wear and tear on it. This thing used to be super overstable, but I've beat this ZFlex up so much that now I can hyzer flip it and let it really glide out and just have that nice reliable fade at the end. I love the ZFlex Crank. I also have another crank here. This is a titanium crank. My buddy had it. He did not like the titanium plastic. I forgot to tell you the weights. The weight on the Flick is 173, 174. The weight on this crank, I can't even remember. It doesn't even have a sticker anymore, but I think it's like in the 160s. It's pretty light. Titanium crank 167, 169. My buddy hates the titanium plastic. I love it. This thing is not quite beat up yet, so this thing, it turns right away. But I need to start beating this thing up and start throwing it more. But I absolutely love the titanium plastic, and I love the crank, so can't wait to beat that in. The next two discs here are very special to me because I absolutely love Paul Macbeth. And no, I do not throw Discraft specifically because of Paul Macbeth or Paige Pierce. I do think they're very, very good players, but honestly, anybody on the Pro Tour is really good. Calvin Heimberg, man, kid throws for Innova, super, super crazy. But I have some Paul Macbeth discs here. I actually have one disc, one of every signature disc he has. So first and foremost, this right here. This is a Paul Macbeth prototype Hades. It is 164 to 166. I absolutely love throwing this disc. Super, super cool. I know the first runs just came out, and people say they're really flippy. This thing flies super straight for me and then finishes. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty swirly. Again, I'm going to go back to Facebook groups because, like, the next two discs, like this one and the next one I'm going to show you, were got in Facebook groups. I got this thing for, like, I don't know, less than $20 shipped from some guy. And, I mean, it was a no-brainer. It's a prototype Hades, and it's super, super cool. So I really like it. I love throwing it. Next to my crank, this is the disc that I've been throwing the most. As you can see, it's, like, super pretty. This is the Paul Macbeth Zeus, also known as the Kong. It used to be the Kong, and then before Paul Macbeth came and he saw it, and he was like, no, we're going to make that a disc. And he did. This reminds me of the crank, just with a harder fade. This is 173 to 174. Super, super swirly. As you can see, pink and gray. Like, that's just... It's cool, man. Like, these discs are beautiful. But even though they're so pretty, I know, like, a lot of people collect these and they don't throw them. I throw them. I love this disc. It's amazing. I've actually got this thing to hyzer flip and carry over 400 feet one day, and I was never able to do it again after that. But I've gotten some pretty good distance out of this and some pretty nice flex shots as well. So that is it for my max distance drivers. Now we're going to move on to my fairway drivers. Starting it off with the Paige Pierce Undertaker 5-time stamp. This is at 170, 172. I like this disc. I don't throw it as much now, but I still do throw it from time to time. Sometimes it's just nice to break out and throw. It has a stability of 1.4, so it does fly pretty straight. You can honestly get the Undertaker to kind of, like, if you can hyzer flip it, it's just going to ride the straight line before it finishes to the left. But it's a super nice disc. I feel like the Undertaker, it's a good disc. I just feel like it's not talked about enough. I don't know. It could just be me. I mean, I don't ever hear a whole lot about it, but I know it's been really popular on the Pro Tour. My favorite fairway driver in my bag, hands down, is this. This is the Avenger SS. This is just the special Dark Horse one. The Avenger SS is crazy, and it's 170, 172. I have gotten super consistent with this. The Avenger SS, if you are a beginner player, this is probably the best disc that you can bag because it is just absolutely incredible. It holds whatever line you put it on, and if you get just the right amount of anhyzer being a right-handed player, it's going to just flex and fly ever so smoothly. A little bit domey, but that's all right. I love this disc. Also, I do have a video coming out that I'm going to film very soon where I'm going to do an Avenger SS round. My buddy Murphy had mentioned to me that he wanted me to do it because I'm super consistent with it, and I've gotten it a much smoother throw with this. He said just drive with it, but I think I'm going to do everything with it. Literally take no other disc but this disc here and film around with it and see how I do. Next, another disc in the titanium plastic. Something that is it reminds me a lot of the Avenger SS, actually, is the Vulture in the titanium plastic. This is 167 to 168. It was my friend's disc, and he just doesn't like titanium plastic, but I've gotten some really nice flex shots out of this as well. Next, the Paul Macbeth Onyx. It was so funny. My friend called it the Onyx, but it actually is Onyx. I won this in a Facebook group giveaway. This guy was doing this thing, and he like was like tell a story in the comments about like disc golf and if COVID had affected you. And you guys know that I had COVID, I had coronavirus. It sucked. And I had the most thumbed up comments. So I actually got to pick out of like the 4 categories he had, and this was the one. Onyx, it's a black disc, crazy swirls, flag stamp, you can see the back, super crazy. What did I say this thing was at? 173, 174. It's a very, very good disc. It flies straight, finishes left, and yeah, it's a good disc. I don't throw it too often for the reason that like it is actually really hard to find sometimes, but it is a great disc. So that's it for my fairway drivers. I do plan on picking up another Avenger SS. I might try it in a different plastic, but I do want another Avenger SS. Coming up in my mid-ranges, this is the Z Comet. I really like this disc. It's 175, 176. I don't know how to explain it. It flies straight, but it also kind of like sometimes will go left, sometimes I get the finish right. It's a weird disc, but it is really nice for approach shots, like especially if you're far enough away that you can throw a mid-range. And yeah, it's a cool mid-range, the Comet. I recently just bagged this and I actually really like it. Next, I think everybody's favorite mid-range in all of disc golf history is the Buzz. This is an ESP Buzz Brody Smith stamp. This is actually max weight at 177 plus, and I call it my pink lemonade. But yeah, I like this. It's a Buzz, you guys know. Another disc I have that I bag is my Tim Barham Tour Series Buzz SS money stamp pink crazy 175 to 176. Yeah. Really nice. Get super straight shots out of it. Coming up for my last mid-range, it's this right here. This is the Paul McBeth Malta. This is a very overstable mid-range with a stability of a 1.9. Like this thing definitely goes left. This is good for forehand if you want the curve to the right. I've had good forehand shots with it. I've had bad forehand shots with it. Like I said, I'm still working on my forehand. It's something that I really want to dial in because it is very useful. And sometimes I either throw it way too high or I throw it way too late or early, or sometimes I just dig it into the ground most of the time. But I'm working on my forehands. But the Malta, super sweet, super swirly, super awesome disc. All right, now into my putters. I have 2 putters that I like to throw and 2 putters I like to putt with. So let me get my two throwers, I guess, ready. One is this here. It's actually a misprint. It's off-centered. That giveaway I won, this actually came with the Onyx and that Facebook giveaway. This is marked at 173, 174, and this is actually a zone, an ESP zone. It's like light blue with tan swirls. It's kind of crazy. I've never seen like a color combination like this. And it's a Lumberjack open stamp. So yeah, March 2nd through 3rd, 2019. Really cool stamp, really cool disc. If you guys don't know what the zone is, it's a very overstable putter. You can tell by how flat it is. You can throw this thing off a tee and get some distance out of it. You can hyzer flip it. I've thrown this a few times off the tee, just playing off camera, just trying to get the feel of it because I want to start throwing putters more. And yeah, this is it. It's super overstable, and it's a great putter. If you hyzer flip it, it's gonna ride and then come back. But super nice putter. Another thrower for me is the Luna here. Sometimes I still putt with it, but mostly I've been throwing it for like farther up shots, and I've even thrown it off a tee a couple times, and I really like it. It's a great disc. It has a 1.0 stability, so it's going to kind of fade to the left. Not as crazy as what the Zone does, but this has a nice reliable finish. You can get a really good flex shot out of it. But the Luna. And then in for my putting putters, I have the Discraft Roach. This is the Brody Blend. Super, super cool. And I've been putting with this. And actually, if you watch the last couple videos I uploaded, because this is going to be uploaded after the Buell Park Back 9 tomorrow. So, well, today when you guys are watching this, but tomorrow for me. But the Roach, I've been putting with this and throwing some upshots with it. And I've also been putting with this too, the Discraft X Soft Challenger. I love it. super. I love the X soft plastic in general for putters. It's just really grippy. That's what I like about the rubber blend putters. So like the soft challengers or any of the soft plastic, the Lunas and like the Brody Roaches. This being an ESP plastic, it's a little more slick, but I do like super grippy putters to putt with. But the Zone, I believe everybody should bag a Zone. My friend told me that, and it's just been in my bag ever since. But I do have an unboxing coming up with Eric very soon. Hopefully I can get him to film it in the bag, get Trista to film it in the bag, because she has some beautiful discs. Believe me, she has some crazy stuff that we were able to pick up on Facebook that people either gave to us or that I only paid shipping for, which is wild. But stay tuned for an unboxing. The Beal Park back 9 and the front 9 are both uploaded to the channel, so go check those out. Maybe I can get Eric to do an in the bag as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow our Instagram down there. We are closing in on 150 followers, so if we could hit that, it would really mean a lot to me. But I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Yeah, bye.